Princess Anne has always been that royal, the one who gets up early, rolls up her sleeves, and gets the job done. While other royals are busy waving at cameras, writing memoirs, or making headlines for all the wrong reasons, Anne has quietly been the true engine behind the royal family. No drama, no diva behavior, just pure duty and non-stop hustle. She doesn't care about glitz or gossip. She's not there for the spotlight. She's there for service. And honestly, the monarchy would be lost without her. Born on August 15, 1950 at Clarence House, Princess Anne entered a world of castles, crown jewels, and constant attention. But unlike her brother Charles, who was destined to be king from birth, Anne was never meant to wear the crown. And you know what? She was perfectly fine with that. While Charles was being prepped for the throne with every tutor and training available, Anne figured out early on that she'd have to carve her own lane. And boy did she ever. Anne's mother, Queen Elizabeth II, became queen when Anne was just 2 years old. From that moment on, the royal household became less about bedtime stories and more about state duties. Anne didn't exactly grow up with cozy family dinners or normal holidays. The Queen had a country to run, and Anne, along with her brothers Charles, Andrew, and Edward, was mostly raised by nannies and tutors. While Charles was being trained for greatness, Anne was trained to support and to do it with grace, grit, and a stiff upper lip. Even though she wasn't the heir, Anne didn't sit around pouting. Nope. She learned to embrace the background, mastering the art of being useful without making noise. She wasn't interested in fairy tales or pretending to be a Disney princess. Instead, she focused on making a difference where it mattered most, through hard work. She didn't need the crown to feel important. She just needed a packed schedule and a cause to fight for. One of the few places where Anne felt truly free was in the saddle. That's right, horses were her escape. While other princesses were fussing over tiaras and ball gowns, Anne was jumping fences and winning medals. At just 21, she won the European Eventing Championship. At 26, she competed in the Olympics. During one event, she got a concussion and didn't even remember finishing the course. But she finished it anyway. Who does that? Only Anne. Pure grit. Pure class. Her love for horses wasn't just a hobby. She went on to become president of the International Equestrian Foundation and has supported horse-related charities for decades. She's also been the patron of riding for the disabled since 1971. Yes, over 50 years. She doesn't just wear badges, she earns them. Now, let's talk about her work, because this woman doesn't stop. In 2017, Anne carried out more royal engagements than any other family member, even the Queen. Think about that. She was out there shaking hands, giving speeches, opening hospitals, visiting charities, and attending meetings non-stop. She started doing royal duties at 18, and she hasn't slowed down since. Her first big job was opening a training center in 1969, and she never looked back. Anne has visited more countries than most people can find on a map. Russia, Australia, Norway, you name it. She even became the first British royal to visit the Soviet Union back in 1990. That's not just tea-sipping and ribbon-cutting. That's diplomacy with a capital D. Her dedication to charity is legendary. She's worked with Save the Children since the 70s and has personally visited projects in Africa and Asia. Not just flown over them, she was even nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. That's how real she is. While others might show up for the photo op, Anne is already in the trenches, asking smart questions and making sure things actually get done. She's also obsessed with healthcare causes. She's Commandant-in-Chief of St. John's Ambulance, supports midwives, backs emergency medicine groups, and is involved in air ambulance services. Basically, if it saves lives or helps people, Anne's probably there with her sleeves rolled up. And let's not forget education. She's been Chancellor of the University of London since 1981 and took over her father's role as Chancellor of the University of Edinburgh in 2011. She shows up to graduations, speaks to students, and genuinely supports learning. You won't catch her pretending to care. She actually cares. Anne doesn't go for trends or fake smiles. She's earned a reputation for being blunt and straightforward. They used to call her royal rudeness. But let's be honest, it's because she didn't pretend to enjoy nonsense. She's the kind of person who says what she means and means what she says. When someone once asked what to do with her time, she simply said, "Keep me busy. I'm here to work." Iconic. She also went against tradition and refused to give her kids royal titles. She wanted them to have real lives, not ones ruined by protocol and pressure. That's a power move. Her children Peter and Zara have grown up relatively normal and successful without all the royal strings attached. Her bond with her older brother Charles has been one of loyalty and mutual respect. They were close growing up and remained close throughout the years. During Queen Elizabeth II's passing, Anne was by Charles's side, standing guard at their mother's coffin. She was the first royal woman ever to do so, and during the coronation of King Charles, she took the role of gold stick in waiting, a symbolic protector of the monarch. She even rode on horseback behind Charles and Camilla like a knight in armor, except it was Anne, so probably better. Their relationship is sweet and steady. They laugh together, joke around at official events, and call each other by childhood nicknames. She once greeted Charles with a "Hello, old bean" in front of cameras. It's clear they've always had each other's backs, and in a family that often feels like a soap opera, that's rare and precious. Even now in her 70s, Anne is still adding titles to her name. She recently became president of the Commonwealth War Graves Commission, which honors those who died in war. She never stops finding ways to serve. While other royals step back, Anne keeps stepping forward. King Charles got some scary health news in early 2024. He was diagnosed with cancer. It wasn't prostate cancer, but something doctors found while treating him for something else. The palace didn't say exactly what kind, but they made it clear it was serious enough for Charles to step back from royal duties for a while. And just like she always does, Princess Anne jumped in like a total pro. While Charles was quietly getting treatments and trying to recover, Anne picked up the slack. She attended all the events, smiled for the cameras, and made sure no one noticed the king wasn't around. She did it without complaining, just like always. But behind the scenes, not everything was peaceful. There were whispers of tension between Anne and Queen Camilla. Apparently, Camilla wanted Charles to keep showing up for public appearances to make the public feel everything was fine, even if it really wasn't. Anne thought that was ridiculous and believed Charles needed full rest, not more stress. Things got even messier when Anne reportedly said it was time to tell everything and called out Camilla for not stepping up. The drama reached a new level when King Charles, clearly emotional, supposedly made a huge decision, naming Anne as the new queen. Yep, Queen Anne. He trusted her more than anyone and believed she had the strength and heart to lead. Anne, being the strong, no-nonsense woman she's always been, accepted the role without fuss. And just like that, the royal family had a major shakeup. Queen Camilla left speechless. Anne, still doing what she does best, handling it all like a boss. Through all the ups and downs of royal life, the scandals, the spotlight, the critics, Princess Anne has stayed rock solid. No tantrums, no tell-alls, just quiet strength and serious dedication. She's not flashy, but she's fierce. She's not loud, but she's legendary. She may not wear the crown, but she's worn the weight of the monarchy on her shoulders for decades and carried it with style. In a world where everyone's looking for attention, Anne proves that the real power is in showing up, staying grounded, and doing the work. And that's exactly why she's the most respected royal of them all, even if she'd never admit it herself. Let us know in the comments, smash that like button, and make sure to subscribe so you never miss any videos. See you in the next video.